After helping over 1,200 Etsy sellers in the sales sprint, I've noticed something. Many of them obsess over the algorithm. They're constantly changing their tags, renewing listings at specific times, trying to figure out the secret formula to get more views. But here's what else I've noticed. The algorithm wasn't their problem. The real issue was happening before the algorithm even mattered, before anyone was searching for their products, before the tags did anything at all. So in this video, I'm going to show you the one thing that needs to be dialed in first before you ever worry about the algorithm. By the end, you'll know exactly where to focus your energy so you can start seeing real results. Because here's the thing. Focusing on the algorithm first is like spending thousands of dollars for a billboard space for your restaurant. But when the customers walk in, the menu is confusing, the food is mediocre, and nobody can even figure out what type of restaurant it even is. The billboard worked. It got people in the door, but the experience once they arrived, that is what's broken. And this is exactly what I see happening on Etsy. The algorithm is just traffic. It gets people to your listing, but if your listing doesn't convert those viewers into buyers, the traffic is completely worthless. And here's where sellers get stuck. They focus on getting more views before they fix why people aren't buying. So they might get 1,000 views on a listing, but if it doesn't convert, they make 0 sales. Meanwhile, another seller only gets 100 views, but their listing converts at 5% and they make 5 sales. So what actually matters is conversions before traffic. I had a student who came to me frustrated because her listings were getting decent views. The algorithm was working. People were finding her, but she wasn't making any sales. When I looked at her listing, the problem was obvious. Her photos were nice, but a buyer landing on that listing photo had no idea what they were getting. Was it a Canva template, a PDF? What's included? How many pages? Her photos made the listing look pretty, but it wasn't clear. None of them answered the basic question of, what am I actually getting? So we fixed the listings first, didn't touch the tags, didn't change her SEO. Within 2 weeks, she started making sales. Same traffic, better conversion. Because here's what people don't realize. The algorithm cannot save a listing that confuses buyers. If someone clicks on your listing and bounces because they can't figure out what your product is or why they need it, Etsy sees that. A high bounce rate tells the algorithm people don't like this listing, which signals to Etsy to show it less. Etsy literally tells us this in the Etsy Seller Handbook. They say, optimizing your listings with conversion in mind is one step you can take to improve your search ranking and your shop's visibility. So you can have the perfect tags and the perfect SEO, but if your listing isn't converting, the algorithm actually works against you. That's why this comes first, before tags, before renewal strategies, before any algorithm hacks. You need to nail what happens when someone actually lands on your listing. That's the foundation everything is built on. And it's what I call the instant click formula. Now, here's what that actually means. When someone lands on your listing, they need to immediately understand 3 things. And I mean within the first 2 seconds, because that's literally all you get before they scroll. Your listing must answer, what is this? Who is this for? And why should I care? If any of these questions go unanswered, they leave. And it doesn't matter how good your product is or how good your tags are. You lost the sale. Let me show you what this looks like with 3 real best-selling Etsy listings. Okay, so example 1, we have this daily checklist. So let's answer the first question. What is this? So you know immediately it's a daily checklist. It's editable, so you can customize it. It's a weekly task planner format. It comes in both letter and A4 sizes, which are the 2 most common PDF sizes, and it's a PDF file. So there's 0 confusion about what format you're getting or what it does. Now the next question, who is this for? So this is for people who want to track their daily tasks on paper, people who like to print things out rather than use apps, people who want a simple system to stay on top of their tasks throughout the week. The fact that it's editable and printable tells you exactly who this serves. Someone who wants the flexibility to customize it, but prefers physical tracking over digital. And then why should I care? Because you can finally stop forgetting important tasks and start creating consistent routines. Instead of rewriting the same task every single day or getting a pre-filled planner that doesn't actually fit your routine, you can edit this one to your specific needs and print as many copies as you need. So it solves the problem of wanting a personalized routine or task tracker without the hassle of designing it yourself or settling for a generic planner that doesn't fit your actual life. Okay, so let's hop into example number 2, and this is a birthday invitation. So let's start with, what is this? So it's obviously a birthday invitation template. It's specifically a pink bow with a coquette aesthetic. It's for a 13th birthday. And it's a Canva template you can edit yourself. It's a digital download, so you get it instantly. So everything you need to know is right there on the listing photo. So let's go to, who is this for? So this is for someone planning a 13th birthday party. It could be the actual 13-year-old planning her own birthday party. It could be the parent or guardian planning the party for the 13-year-old. It's basically for anyone specifically looking for that pink, feminine, trendy style. So when a mom searching for her daughter's 13th birthday sees 13th birthday girl invitation with this exact aesthetic, she immediately knows this was made for her situation. Now, why should I care? Because you can create a professional looking, customizable invitation in probably less than 10 minutes. You don't have to hire a designer, and you don't have to spend hours trying to figure out design software to create it yourself. You just open it in Canva, change the name and party details, and download it. So this solves the problem of wanting a beautiful, age-appropriate invitation without the stress, time, or cost of creating one yourself or hiring a designer. Okay, and then let's go into example 3, the spring clip art bundle. So what is this? It's a clip art bundle. You're getting 240 plus graphics. They're watercolor style. The themes are spring, florals, birdhouses, bicycles, flowers, and rustic gardening elements. So they are PNG files, so they have transparent backgrounds. So you know exactly what you're getting in this bundle before you even click. Now, who is this for? So this is for anyone doing spring themed designs who don't want to create illustrations from scratch themselves. The style is very specific. It's watercolor and rustic aesthetic. So if that is your vibe, you know immediately it matches what you need. And then let's go into, why should I care? Because instead of spending hours searching for individual spring style graphics or creating them yourselves, you get over 240 cohesive professional designs in one download. And you can use them over and over and over again to create different projects. So this solves the problem of needing high quality spring graphics without spending hours creating it yourself or searching all over the internet trying to find graphics that match your style. So do you see the pattern here? Each of these best-selling listings answers all 3 questions within the first listing photo. What is this? Who is this for? Why should I care? When your listing does this, people don't have to guess. They don't have to dig through your description hoping to find answers. They know within seconds if they need your product. And that is the instant click formula. That's the foundation that has to be right before the algorithm can do anything for you. Because once you nail this, Etsy sees people clicking, staying on your listing, and making purchases. Those are the signals that tell Etsy, show this to more people, but you have to get this part right first. Okay, so now you might be thinking, I get it, my listing has to answer these 3 questions first, but how do I actually know if mine is doing that right now? Because here's the thing, when you've been staring at your own listing for weeks or even months, you start to lose perspective. What seems obvious to you might be completely confusing for someone seeing your product for the first time. So I'm going to give you a simple test you can run on your listings right now to see if they pass the instant click formula. So step 1, I want you to take a screenshot of your main listing photo and title. So you're going to pull up one of your listings, take a screenshot of just the main photo and the title. And what I mean by main photo is that first listing photo. Then you're going to open ChatGPT and use this exact prompt. I'm going to show you a screenshot of my Etsy listing. Based only on the photo and title, tell me, what is this product? Who is it for? Why someone would buy it? Be honest if anything is unclear. So if ChatGPT comes back confused or had to guess, your listing failed this test. So here's what happens a lot. ChatGPT will say something like, this appears to be some kind of digital planner, but I'm not sure what format it's in or what software I need to use it. And that's exactly what buyers are experiencing too. And confused people don't buy. They just click over to the next listing. Your main photo and title need to work together so even AI can tell us what it is, who it's for, and why people should care. Okay, so step 2 is going to be to test the first 2 lines of your description. So open your listing description, copy just the first 2 sentences, go back to ChatGPT and use this prompt. I'm going to paste the opening of my Etsy listing description. Tell me, does this speak to a specific customer problem? Does it make you want to keep reading? Now, ChatGPT tells you it doesn't speak to their problem or it's not compelling. You need to rewrite it because here's what I see all the time. Descriptions that start with things like, I'm so excited you found my listing. It took me 3 days to create this and I paid so much attention to detail. That doesn't speak to any problem. It doesn't make you want to keep reading. What works is something like, tired of forgetting important tasks and feeling behind all day? This daily checklist keeps you on track so you can stop dropping the ball and actually be productive. Do you see the difference? The second one speaks directly to the frustration the buyer is facing, and it makes them think, okay, this is for me. Let me go on and keep reading. Now, here's something important about your description. You also want to include your keywords naturally throughout it. And I don't mean stuff it full of random search terms. I mean to weave in the actual words buyers would type into the Etsy search bar to find your product. Because we don't just want random views. We want views from the right people, from potential customers. And Etsy has told us exactly how this works. According to an article in the Etsy Seller Handbook from August 2025, it says the keywords you use across your listing titles, descriptions, tags, categories, and attributes are essential when it comes to matching you to the right buyers. So if someone telling you putting keywords in your description is unnecessary, Etsy is literally telling us that it can help you get in front of the right people. You're not choosing between writing for buyers or writing for search. You are doing both. You are solving their problem and using the words they are actually searching for. And then step 3 is going to be look at your listing photos like a detective. So scroll through all 10 of your listing photos, or if you have more, scroll through all of those listing photos within that one product. Pretend you're a buyer who's never purchased a digital product before. Can you answer these 3 questions just from looking at your photos? What file format is this? What software or app do I need to use it? What's actually included in the download? How many pages or items am I getting? If you can't answer these questions without reading the description, your photos aren't doing their job. And the fix is simple. Add one photo that clearly shows what's included. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a clean graphic that says what you get and list out the items. Because pretty listing photos get attention, but clarity closes the sale. So here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Pick your top 3 listings. Run them through the instant click formula test. Now be honest with yourself. If someone saw these for the first time, would they immediately know what it is, who it's for, and why they should care? If the answer is no, you know exactly what to fix first. So before you touch your tags, before you worry about the algorithm, get your listings clear. Because here's what happens when you do this right. When you nail the instant click formula, when your listing photos immediately tell people what this is, who it's for, and why they should care, everything changes. More of the people who click on your listing will actually buy. That's a higher conversion rate, and Etsy sees that. Etsy sees people landing on your listing, staying there, reading through your description, and then adding it to their cart. Those are all positive signals that tell the Etsy algorithm people like this listing. This is a good match for what buyers are searching for. So what does Etsy do with that information? It shows your listing to more people, and it does this organically without you changing a single tag. And this isn't just a random theory I made up. The Etsy Seller Handbook says this directly. To put it simply, When shoppers click on and purchase a listing from search, that listing may rank higher in search results for that query. And a query is just the search term. That means you start getting more views. But here's the key. They're better views. They're from people actually interested in what you're selling because Etsy knows your listing converts. And because your listing is clear, those new visitors convert too, which sends more positive signals, which gets you even more traffic. It's a cycle that builds on itself, but it only works if the foundation is right first. If you optimize your tags and your SEO before your listing is clear, you might get some traffic. But when people land on your listing, they're confused. They can't figure out what you're selling or if it's right for them, so they leave. Etsy sees those people bouncing. High bounce rate, no purchases. That tells the algorithm people don't like this listing, stop showing it. So even though you did all of that work on your tags and your SEO, the algorithm actually works against you. It stops sending you traffic because the traffic it's sending you isn't converting into sales. And believe it or not, Etsy wants us to make money because when we make money, they make money. So that's why I say that algorithm doesn't matter if you don't do this first. Think of the algorithm like a megaphone. If you're saying something clear and compelling, the megaphone makes it reach more people. That is powerful. But if you're saying something confusing, saying it louder won't help. You're just confusing more people. So first, get your message clear. Get your listings converting. Then the algorithm becomes your best friend. It amplifies what's already working. And here's the beautiful part about this. Once you nail this for one listing, you know exactly how to do it for all of your other listings. You have a system, a framework you can repeat. You're not guessing anymore. You're not wondering why some listings sell and others don't. You know exactly what makes a listing convert, and you can apply it over and over again. That is how you build a sustainable Etsy shop. Not by chasing algorithm hacks, but by mastering the fundamentals that make people want to buy from you. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, okay, I get the 3 questions my listing needs to answer, but what if people still aren't buying? That's exactly what I cover in this next video. I audited a brand new Etsy shop and found 3 fixable mistakes that were blocking her from sales. She went from 0 to 117 sales in just 60 days by fixing these mistakes. And you can apply these same fixes to your shop today.